Hey everybody, Shawn Tubbs here. Thanks for tuning in. This is the XTONE XTONE Smart Stomp. Now what is this thing? Well, what it is a next level audio interface for your guitar. It's capable of sample rates all the way up to 192K, and that is just an insane amount of Ks. Now we all know that you can use several different computer-based programs now for guitar tones or amp modeling. And I'm just looking at them here. You can use JamUp, you can use Bias Effects, which is what I'm using for this demo. You can use Guitar Rig, Amp Kit, Revolver, Amplitube. There's just so many that you can use. But for me, being so new to this game, the thing that always made me kind of turn away from computer-based anything was honestly the interface. And I just didn't feel like it was usable enough for a live situation especially, or a fly-out situation, or even a studio situation. And they've really answered that with this because it's such high audio quality. And as I said, the sample rate is through the roof on it. So it doesn't get much better than this, but it actually does, because what this allows you to do is you've got switches on it that are going to allow you to assign MIDI controller numbers to certain functions within the programs that you're using. And I'm going to get into that in the demo. Now, the way I'm going to use it is based on how I would want to use it, which is taking advantage of the balanced out on this, because it really sounds great. So if I took this and my laptop, or even this and maybe an iPad to a gig, I could literally show up with just this, just my laptop, and run the balanced out straight to the console and get all the great tones I want to get. Now, there's other ways you can run it, but that's the way I'm going to show you guys, because it's got routing for left and right outs. I mean, you could run this into the inputs of 2 amplifiers if you wanted to, or just 2 power sections, or 2 inputs. Obviously, it's got a guitar input. The other thing that's really cool is it has an expression pedal input. We'll get into that in the demo and how that works, but it works flawlessly. It's really easy to use. Of course, the control or the knob that's on top is the volume control, so that'll be the balanced out volume control. If you are listening on headphones, which is amazing, you can use that to control your headphone volume. What's included in the box is you're going to get your 9-volt adapter, but it's also going to give you all the necessary cables to hook it up either via USB to your computer or to your, say, iPad or iPhone or whatever it is you happen to be using. All of that's there, so it makes it really easy to just plug and go. And speaking of plug and go, I really didn't have to look at the manual much at all to understand how this works. It really worked great. I do want to give a shout out to Positive Grid for allowing me to use Bias Effects 2 Pro for this demo. It's a really nice sounding program. Obviously, I'm not going to be demoing that. We're going to be focused on using the interface, but I did want to give a shout out to them and say thank you. So yeah, without further ado, let's check this out. Okay. So I've got my laptop all set up. I've got Bias Effects 2 open. I've got the XTONE ready to go. The sound you're hearing right now is the crunch tone that I used for the performance track. But what I thought I would do to start is show you guys how I got through the 3 basic sounds that I used. It was a very clean tone, to a crunch tone, to a solo tone, and how I manipulated certain things within those presets using the XTONE. So speaking of presets, the first thing I want to show you is how I got through the preset. So you can see that I push the button on the left and I've switched to my clean tone. And the way I programmed that was really simple. I just went into MIDI controls, and it's going to vary obviously depending on what program you're using, but this is what I did using Bias Effects. I go to MIDI setting, MIDI control assignments, and then you can see right here you've got your preset down and preset up. Now you can see they're already assigned to controller 10 and controller 11, but let's say they weren't. So all you would do, if you want the left button on the XTONE to be your preset down, you could just simply hit learn. It'll wait for the input and you hit that button and it knows. And it would be the same thing for your preset up. You could hit learn, and in this case I want preset up to be the right button on the XTONE, and it learns it and you're done. So it's as simple as that, and that's how I set it up to get through my three sounds, which were the clean tone to a crunch tone to a solo tone. So it's that easy, it's that simple to set up. And oh, by the way I'm running this is using the balanced out. It was important to me to run it that way so you guys could think of it more in not just a session or recording situation, but also in a live situation. So I'm running balanced out into my Apogee Quartet interface straight to the old TV set back there. Okay, so now we know how we did the presets. I'm going to go back to my clean sound. So I'm going to toggle the other way using the preset down and show you what I did within that, because I can still use my center switch to turn things on and off. So right now we're just hearing reverb. What if I want to turn on a delay? Well, I assigned a delay on and off to the center switch on the XTONE. So now you can hear I've got a really sweet delay going. But if I don't want it, I can just shut it off. Now the other thing you can do, now this is something you don't have to do, but it's something I discovered. There are different modes in the XTONE that would be usable for different types of programs, but what I realized is in those three modes, you're getting new controller numbers per switch. So I started looking at that and I thought, well, what if I toggle to the blue mode by holding down the center switch? Now I'm in the blue mode. Now I've got new switch assignments. So I did the same exact thing as far as how I assigned the controller numbers by just allowing it to learn. So within the same program now, I can turn the reverb off. Now we've got just delay. Or I can turn the reverb back on. And then I can toggle back to the green mode just by holding down the left switch. Turn my delay on and off. So it's really cool. So going from that to my crunch tone, which is what I would want to do live, I hit my preset up, which is on the right. Now I'm on my crunch tone, which is kind of a British crunch thing. Sounds great, but what if I want to turn on maybe a boost pedal? So that's what I did. I assigned a boost pedal to turn on and off via the center switch. So now you can see I've got a boost turned on now. That's off, on. Now I did the same thing with toggling to the blue mode. Now I can turn my reverb on and my delay off if I want. So now we're just hearing reverb, no delay. Or I can shut that off, have just delay. Or have them both off. Or even both on. So it's really versatile that way. I really dig being able to work with it within those parameters. Now, let's toggle to the next sound. So my next sound was my solo sound. So it's darker, it's got more gain. I've already got a boost turned on. But what I assigned to the center switch was a wah pedal. What if I want to use a wah pedal and turn it on within that program? So the center switch is going to turn the wah on. And then I can use my expression pedal to sweep the wah pedal. Now the way I assigned the wah, actual sweep of the wah, or moving that treadle was a little bit different. So I assigned it to the center switch the same way I showed you guys within the MIDI controls. So if we go into MIDI control assignments, you can see that the cry wah has been assigned to 20, which is that middle switch. But we need to do something a little different to assign the expression pedal, because if I assign the expression pedal just to the wah, all the expression pedal is going to do is turn the wah on when I sweep it up and off when I sweep it down. We don't want that. So the way you get into that is you right click, or in my case, I'm going to hold down Control and then hit the wah pedal. And then I'm going to go to assign, you can see there. And then it's going to ask me, what do you want this assignment to do? Do you want it to toggle it on and off, or actually sweep the wah? And in this case, I told it to sweep the wah. So I'm going to reset it, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hit Learn. It's going to look for a MIDI input. I'm going to move my expression pedal, and we're done. That's how I assigned that to work. It's really cool, and then I can of course shut the delay back off. Now, speaking of expression pedals, let's go back to my clean sound, because I just thought of this. Why don't we try it? Let's turn the delay on, which we're able to do using the center switch. What if I want to assign the expression pedal to maybe turn the delay volume up and down? So let's do that. I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to go into the assignment, and I'm going to assign it. So see, I can choose, do I want to change the blend, the level, the feedback, chorus, depth, whatever I want. In this case, let's assign it to change the level. So same thing, I'm going to hit Learn. I'm going to sweep the controller, and we're done. And well, hopefully we're done. Oh yeah, we got it. So now the level's off, and I can start turning it up with the expression pedal. So you can really do so much within a live or session setting with just this pedal. You don't have to take a pedal board. You can just take this and your laptop, or even better, your iPad or your iPhone. It's just a really versatile, compact, really usable, great feeling and sounding interface for guitar. It's absolutely fabulous. Or bass, or whatever it is you want to hit it with. In this case, we're using guitar. Works really great. So if you've got any further questions, go to the XTONE site and check it out. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.